of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
Walk out on that field today. Ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Reverse. 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 I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's hunt.
What's up, King? Hey, Valencia, King TV.
We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this kind of we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to book him up the chin strap. It's embarrassing.
Valencia, it's time to get you back on, girl. Talk about the Mavs. He's a man. He's a man. Oh, yeah, in Oklahoma City.
He's a man. When you step on the field, man, that's who I is. When I step on the field, I send one message.
And this is what it feels like. Oh, my bad, my bad.
You bad don't work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it?
Let's go. Let's go. By God, let's go.
It's a wrap. Game over.
Now, this game is by far from over. Right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. We're streaming live on KYOKradio.org, and it is our Throwback Thursday. So got a lot we're going to talk about. Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, is going to join us, I believe, in the second hour. And, man, I got to talk to him about that NBA that got started for a lot of teams last night. Night before, it was the Lakers and Warriors. It was the Milwaukee Bucks and the Brooklyn Nets. And I noticed something last night. I was listening to some Knicks fans coming in, and they are hyped. They are hyped. So anyway, we got to talk about that. We got to talk about the Houston Astros, man. I bet Framber Valdez can just do whatever you want to do. He got the keys to the city yesterday. He got the keys to the city of Houston. And look, he took the keys to the city of Boston because he owned them yesterday. Gave up 1 run on 3 hits and 5 strikeouts over 8 innings and had a no-no until the bottom of the 5th. Took a no-no into the bottom of the 5th. And again, the Astros hadn't had starting pitching like that in a minute. And what can I say about Yordan Alvarez? Ever since he and his wife had that baby, or their baby, let me be polite and respectful. Ever since they had their baby, Yordan Alvarez has just been smacking the ball all around. 3 for 5 yesterday, 3 RBIs, including 1 over the Green Monster, opposite field. Those 2 brought it on home. Astros 9-1 over the Sox in the Garden. And, hey, here's the deal. Here's the deal. That's not the Gardner. Gardner's the basketball arena in Fenway Park. Here's the deal. Astros win tomorrow night. It don't matter where Boston plays. Astros are going on to the World Series for the 3rd time in the last 5 years. And I'm ready for Dusty to get him one. And Astro fans, if y'all want to call this the redemption year, if you want to call this the year that, that y'all shut everybody up about the cheating scandal and all that, listen, that's fine and well. But in addition to that, I want to see Dusty get him one. I'm tired of all Yeah, but when it comes to Dusty, Dusty is a Hall of Fame manager. Maybe his career, his playing career wasn't Hall of Fame worthy, but his managing career, Hall of Fame. So get him a chip. Let's go. And then Dusty goes in as soon as he possibly can. Dusty goes in as soon as he possibly can. I feel bad for Dave Roberts and the LA Dodgers. They are on their way out the door unless they do something historic. They're down 3-1. Atlanta beat them 9-2 yesterday, and now it's win or go home, stay home, however you want to look at it for the LA Dodgers, and they're going to be without their one of their big bats. So it's looking like Astros and Atlanta, but both of them still have work to do. So if you want to talk baseball, yep, let's do it. 281-453-1000. That's 281-453-1000. Also, if you want to talk football, 281-453-1000. Whatever you want to talk about. Throwback Thursday. The number to dial, 281-453-1000. Or you can text me, 832-403-5005. Somebody asked me, AJ, why don't y'all have one of those 5-digit text deals? Cuz. Be right back right after this on the lunch break.
If you have $2,000 or more in credit card debt, then listen up. We can reduce or eliminate your interest rates. Cut your monthly payment up to 50% and stop all late fees. Our company has been helping good people just like you get out of debt for over 30 years.
Don't judge me.
Don't get stressed out. If you have $2,000 or more in credit card debt and medical bills, we can show you a way to reduce all of your bills to one lower monthly payment that you can afford.
Oatmeal.
So again, if you have $2,000 or more in credit card debt and medical bills you can't afford, make this free call today and learn how you can finally get out of debt. Call now for your free consultation. 800-638-7112. 800-638-7112. 800-638-7112. That's 800-638-7112. Sponsored by Credit Card.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
I'm Jacqueline Carr, and here is your winning strategy. You have destiny waiting for you. It's your time to meet destiny. Peel off all the stuff that you have allowed to cover up your true walk in life. You should be implementing something that will prosper your life, prosper your family, prosper your ideas, prosper your health. Understand the essential things in life that make you feel accomplished. Even though the feeling of being accomplished differs for individuals, just know that accomplishment is in you and that you are going to prosper. Don't allow yourself to say that this is all I know how to do, because if something interferes in your life and changes it, at that moment you have to learn something new. Believe that whatever you touch, God has orchestrated it to happen, and you will prosper in life.
To celebrate State Farm's surprisingly great rates, we gave this song surprisingly great lyrics.
I love that rate on my new ride. State Farm was built and the stars align. Above my home and auto policies. I switched and saved, now I feel great. Gonna tell the world I can't wait. Baby, State Farm has been betraying me.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
It's JCPenney's lowest prices of the season, and leaves aren't the only thing falling. Our prices are too. Thursday to Sunday only. Save with thousands of deals throughout the store, like Cook's or Black & Decker kitchen appliances, $17.88 each. Women's fall booties, now $24.88 a pair. And the best part, these prices are so low, no coupons needed. New fall styles, great fall savings. JCPenney. Offer valid on select items 10/21 through 10/24. Season refers to 9/7 to 10/24. Some exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
This is Irma J from Internal Revamp, and you're listening to AJ on the lunch break.
Irma J, what you say, girl? Hope everything is going well with her. She's like all over the country right now on a tour with a play, and I think it's called When Temptation Comes. I think they're up in Memphis right now. Irma J making money moves. Big shout out to her. Shout out to all of the folks in the play. Harold J. Trotter. Nothing but love for that brother. So anyway, it's Throwback Thursday. It's Throwback Thursday on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. If you want in, hit me up now. CJ, what's going on, CJ? Valencia King has already checked in. Real Talk Sports, the dialogue with Valencia King on IGTV. Keith Hennick, Caller of the Year, 2020. Got a lot we're going to get into today, man. So last night in baseball, it went down. It went down. Astros pulled that thing out. Atlanta pulled that thing out. Both of them went off. 9 runs, both of them. Astros only gave up 1 run. Braves gave up 2. Dodgers are in trouble. But it ain't over. It ain't over. 3-1. It ain't insurmountable. Astros up 3-2. That ain't insurmountable either. So Astro fans who, I hope they do this. I hope they win tomorrow night. Wrap that thing up and let's go. That's what I hope. Hey, big shout out to Clarence. Picked up $50 yesterday in the lunch break weekly, keeping up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge. $50. He was 11-3. Ferdinand was 11-3. Big time. Floyd was 10-4. Let's see. CJ was 10-4. Emmanuel was 10-4. Delano was 10-4. Chi-Town was 10-4. Charlotte was 10-4. Oz was 10-4. Amber was 10-4. Who else? Rico was 10-4. Alice was 10-4. A lot of 10-4s. But 11-3 won it. So if you want to win $50 this week, you got to give me your picks for the NFL games starting tonight with Cleveland, Denver. Who you think's going to win? All of the Sunday games, who you think's going to win? Just give me the winner. And then for the Monday night game, New Orleans and Seattle, give me who you think's going to win and the final score, the exact final score. Don't just give me it's going to be a total of. No, we don't do that. That's some other league. But us, you got to give me the exact score for Seattle's exact score for New Orleans, and whoever comes out closest will win in the event of a tiebreaker. And we use multiple points for the tiebreaker in that Monday night game. So give me who you think's going to win and the exact score of both teams. And that's it. You got to either email them to me, aj@kyoksports.com, aj@kyoksports.com. You can text them, text them 832-403-5005. You'll get a reply message back that just simply says, got them. And be careful because it might not be me that you're talking to. You might be talking to one of our strong interns, and they'll send you a message back, got them, and that's it. You're in. No purchase necessary. You don't have to pay an introductory fee. You don't have to put money in the pot. We're blessed to have some great sponsors like the Hartwell Clinic here in Houston, great counseling organization who are very sensitive, compassionate, but very thorough. And we've got the sports and wellness doc, Dr. Alexis McClurkin-Johnson, phenomenal. And you can reach her at sportsandwellnessdoc.com right here in Houston. She's over there in the stadium area over by the place where the Texans play. So 2 great sponsors and working on another one. The top 6 at the end of the season will compete for $500 cash. Top 6 will compete for $500 cash. And right now the standings are Big Time Floyd, number 1, Amber, number 2, Delano and Chi-Town are tied for 3. Keith and T-Bone are tied for 5th. And right outside of the top 6, Keisha Kelly at 7, Alice, CJ, and George Griffin at 8, Todd at 12, Alexis at 13 with Ferdinand, Emmanuel at 15, Milo at 16, Erica at 17. All of them are within shouting distance of that number 6 spot. And listen, Shar, Big Mike, Oz, Rio, Jasmine, y'all are still in there. You know, you gotta have some big weeks. Gotta have some big weeks. So again, if you got in late, win that weekly prize, man. You know, we've had a couple of guys, I think Big Time Floyd won 3 weeks in a row, $150. I mean, look, you might be rolling in the dough, but that's 150 bones you don't have to pull out of your pocket for whatever it is you're trying to do. You can use ours. So anyway, get in. It's fun. We've been doing it for several years. Chi-Town came out of nowhere and won it last year. Delano won it 1 year. Let's see who else. Keisha Kelly won it 1 year. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. All right, let me take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk about this game tonight. Thursday night football. It's turning into the Medic Bowl. The Medic Bowl. We'll talk about that when we come back after this on the lunch break.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-253-1892. 800-253-1892. 800-253-1892. That's 800-253-1892.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. 2 radio stations in one.
Tune in to Table Talk with your boy, TD Blackshear, every Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. on the legendary KYOK 1140 a.m. and 92.3 FM. See you there.
In need of tires? Check out OMG Tire Services and more. New and used tires, all the name brands you desire. Located at 3126 Tidwell, between 59 North and Jensen. Give them a call at 832-767-3211. Top-notch service from beginning to end. When you're done, get your car hand-washed inside and out at OMG Tire Services and more. Located at 3126 Tidwell, between 59 North and Jensen. Call 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211. Conveniently located on the north side.
Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM at KYOKradio.org.
Remember in the beginning, when you first started to build a life for you and your family, you never imagined it would come to this. Instead of living your dreams, you're living with debt. In fact, it's smothering you. Now there's a way you can take back control with one simple call. If you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt, you qualify to receive a free, no-obligation consultation on how to get rid of that debt for good. Call the Debt Helpline now. We work on your behalf to reduce your debt. We specialize in credit cards, retail store cards, and medical bills. One simple call is all it takes to get the ball rolling to a debt-free life. Stop living with debt and start living your dreams. Call the Debt Helpline now.
800-958-2156. 800-958-2156. 800-958-2156. That's 800-958-2156.
This is Jamie from Baytown listening to AJ on the lunch break.
All right, Jamie, thanks for that hookup right there. Appreciate the drop. And big shout out, CJ said, the Lunch Break Weekly, keeping up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge. It's fun. It is. Winning money, and that's fun every day, all day. One size fits all, man. That money is in the right color, right size. Very rarely does somebody say, yeah, nah, man, go on, take that back. I want something else. Nah. Keith Hennick has made an amazing comeback. Keith Hennick started off slow, and he started hitting the gas. Keith is right there in the number 5 spot and has a chance to compete for 500s at the end of the season. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. So anyway, tonight, the Denver Broncos more than likely going to be without their starting quarterback, although we haven't had anything official yet, unless somebody's seen something that I haven't seen since I've come on. But Teddy Bridgewater may be out of that game, which means Drew Lock will come in and do his thing. You know, Drew had a chance to be the starter, whatever reason they decided to go with TB, not Tom Brady, Teddy Bridgewater. So there's that. And then on the other side of the ball, Baker Mayfield is out. And there's speculation whether or not his injury is season ending or if he's going to be able to play, what have you. They don't have a bye week, though, until late in the season. I want to say it's like week 14, somewhere like that, before they have a bye week. So Baker is going to have to play through some things. And if you don't know the deal, he's got a shoulder issue. They call it a labrum issue, but he's got a shoulder that keeps popping in and out of the socket. Like randomly. There was a non-contact situation where it popped out. And it's just, folks think, oh, well, you just pop it back in. Stop watching TV so much. This is not that movie with Mel Gibson and Danny Glover where Mel Gibson goes over to the wall and bangs his shoulder against the wall and pops it back in, grabs his gun, and then runs and gets the bad guy like nothing happened. This is real life. This ain't cut, do it again. This is real life. And if it were not that big of a deal, we wouldn't be hearing about it. So Case Keenum, former U of H Coug, how you do the U of H thing? U of H Coug, and member of the Houston Texans when you know who came in and ran him off for, who did he bring in that year? I think it was Tom Savage and Ryan Fitzpatrick and a whole bunch of people. Remember Ryan Mallett and Brian Hoyer and then Brock Osweiler. And I mean, Case Keenum was right here in town and got ran out. And now Case has a chance to go in there and try and keep the Browns in contention. Now, somebody said, AJ, it's week number 7. We're looking at week number 7, so let's not make it too much. That division that the Browns are in, pretty good. Baltimore is right now the number 1 seed in the AFC at 5-1. Tennessee. No, Tennessee's not in that division. Pittsburgh is 3-3. Cleveland is 3-3. Cincinnati, that's who I was looking for. They're 4-2. Pretty tough division. Pretty tough division. So, Cleveland doesn't want to drop down to 3-4 and then 3-5, then 3-6 and be trying to pull this thing out. They want to keep pace. They want to win, out of this next kind of like little murderer's row that they got coming up. They want to try and win the majority of them. Let me look at their schedule. The Cleveland Browns in action tonight. God, I hate these pop-ups. I hate pop-ups. Stop. If I don't click on it, don't throw it in my face. All right, so they got the Broncos tonight. Then they host Pittsburgh. They go to Cincinnati, and that's no longer a cupcake. That used to be a cupcake with icing and sprinkles. It's not. Then they go to New England. You know how y'all love New England. Then they got Detroit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, I'm sure they want to go 5-0 over the next 5, but they definitely don't want to go 2-3. They definitely don't want to go 2-3. So if there's any way they can tape Baker up and wrap stuff around him and glue it together, put a pin in it, whatever they got to do, that's what they want to try to do. But Case Keenum is like, yo, I was born ready. I stay ready so I don't have to get ready. You know, this is what I've done my whole career. And, oh, yeah, he and Stefanski have very good history when they were in Minnesota. Case Keenum was the quarterback that came in. I believe he filled in for Teddy Bridgewater and led them to the conference championship game. So, you know, I'm not trying to do what some of my colleagues are trying to do and start a quarterback controversy. Not that at all. Baker Mayfield is the man. Baker should get his money. And, you know, I'm no Baker Mayfield fan, but Baker should get his money. All the folks who now say, well, Baker hadn't done this and he hadn't done that, and he's too small and blah, blah, blah. Stop. Baker has been part of the turnaround for the Cleveland Browns, who have been putrid for years. So, but what they need is for Case Keenum to go out there and be the backup quarterback that they thought he would be when they brought him in. You know, they didn't bring in some random backup. They brought in a starter. I mean, a guy who has some history as a winning starter so that he could play like that for times just like this. You know, this is one of those times when you don't want to be looking down your bench and all you got down there is Nathan Peterman, Mike Glennon, Blaine Gabbert. This is not that time. So, you know, is it the Drew Lock versus Case Keenum Bowl? I guess. But it goes deeper than that for the Cleveland Browns. Both their running backs are out. Both their starting tackles are out. Odell Beckham Jr. is out. Questionable. Let me say that. Questionable. And they're literally going to have to activate Jarvis Landry if he's going to play, and that's questionable as well. So when I said it's the Medic Bowl, I mean, both teams are experiencing some injuries, but Cleveland's like, yo, hold my protein water. I'll be right back. You want injuries? Let me show you injuries. And for the Yeah But crew, hey, that's part of the game. That's why when everybody says, oh, yeah, we got this, we got that. Okay, all right. Injury bug hit, and guess what? Here we go. Oh, but if they hadn't got this injury, it's part of the game. It's part of the game. There's wins, there's losses, there's ties. There's no I column for injuries. Oh, it was an injury loss. No, part of the game. Part of the game. In the words of Dusty Baker, nobody's going to send Cleveland a sympathy card. Nobody's going to send them flowers or candy or, a note. We wish you guys, sorry you guys had so many injuries. Folks coming to play against whoever's wearing a Cleveland Brown jersey. Starts with Denver tonight. Looking at this game. What's the line? Has the line moved on it? Yeah, it has. Dropped another point. Cleveland is a 1-point favorite in this game. 1-point favorite in this game. I'm keeping my pick with the Cleveland Browns. I feel like Case, I don't know why I'm keeping my pick with Cleveland, to be honest with you. I feel like Cleveland's got more question marks, due to injury than Denver does. And Denver still has a very good defense. Very good defense. I know. Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney, and others. But, man, if Case Keenum, let's say Case plays well, but they don't get much out of the running game because Hunt and Chubb are out. Keith Hennig says Cleveland will figure out a way to win. You're probably right. They're at home too. I think that's what I'm giving them the edge on. They're at home. If Case just doesn't turn the ball over, gets the ball downfield, and they rely on their kicker, for Christ's sake, I feel like Cleveland, can pull this thing out. Man, this is almost like a toss-up game for me. Drew Lock has started before. Drew Lock is not, he's not Zach Wilson. He started before. I'm sorry, Jets fans. I'm sorry. Jet fans, I don't know why. I like the Jet fans more than I like the Giants fans. They're both in the Meadowlands. They're both in New Jersey. But anyway, I like the Jet fans more than I like the Jet. No, I don't. I don't like either one. I don't. Robert Salah, that's my go-to. That's my go-to. All right. So anyway, let me jump around for a minute. Let me do the Wisconsin Badgers jump around. I'm gonna stick with Cleveland tonight. I'm gonna give the point. I'm gonna stick with Cleveland tonight. But let me read an article that someone wrote, and I'm not gonna read all of it. Okay, Willie Gibson just hit me up. Jarvis Landry just got activated. So they will have, Case Keenum will have somebody that he knows that he'll be throwing the ball to. Hey, Jarvis, catch this. So there's that. But the dude out of Michigan, Peoples, I know he's got 2, 3, 4 names, but Peoples, he got to step up. Listen, Michigan, Big Blue, bruh, got to step up. It's your turn. You're next man up. You go out there and do your Odell Beckham Jr. impersonation and make some stuff happen. If he don't have at least 5 catches for 80-something yards and a touchdown, bruh, I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what else to tell you. All right, so anyway, let me read this article that somebody wrote. I'm jumping around. Somebody say he's jumping. Walk with me. I'm not going to even tell you where the article is because I don't want you to go read it. I don't. I just want to talk about it and the person who wrote it. So the article title says, or the caption right beneath the article says, he was an unusual hire from the beginning, and there's a good reason for that. And the title of the article is David Culley is a Patsy. And the article reads, maybe it's my love of history, but I've always enjoyed the term patsy. Lee Harvey Oswald famously called himself a patsy when he was arrested, denying he had assassinated President John F. Kennedy. Just to have a little fun with the literal meaning of patsy, it's this from the Oxford language, is a person who is easily taken advantage of, especially being cheated or blamed for something. So when I look at that definition and I think about the title, David Culley, head coach of the Houston Texans, is a patsy, it says he's a person that's easily being taken advantage of, especially being cheated or blamed for something. That part I agree with. I don't think David Culley is the kind of guy that allows himself, though, to be easily taken advantage of. So I'm good with the article from there. Right there, I'm good with it. But then here's what it went on to say. I think that defines David Culley pretty darn well. Let's explore why. First, look, bookmark this, highlight this. First, Culley was never qualified to become the head coach of an NFL team. He had never even coordinated at the professional level, and the last time he was a coordinator was way back in 1990 for the University of Texas, El Paso, where he did it for 2 seasons. Since then, he has only been a position coach or an assistant head coach. That's it. There is literally no reason to believe Culley was brought here for his football mind, and there were plenty of other options out there who had both better experience and more impressive track records like Eric Bieniemy. Let me qualify what I'm going to say next. I am not making this a race issue. I'm not. I want Eric Bieniemy to get a job like anybody else. I mean, Eric Bieniemy, in my mind, deserves a job. And for the naysayers, yeah, but I'm not even talking to you because you got your mind made up on what Eric Bieniemy does, what he doesn't do, what he deserves, and what he doesn't deserve. So I'm not even talking to you. So spare me the ats and the inboxes and the text messages. I'm not talking to you. Okay? All right. Everything that this writer said before that, I have a problem with. The first, Culley was never qualified to become a head coach of an NFL team. He had never even coordinated at the professional level. Huh? I'm sorry. Run me Cliff Kingsbury's record real quick. Run me his resume real quick. I'm not making this about race. I'm just saying, run me Cliff Kingsbury's resume real quick. No, can't find it? Hit me with Joe Judge's resume real quick. Oh, he was a coordinator at New England. Of what? Quality control? Special teams? What? What was he coordinator of? I could go on and on. I know the coordinator of the head coach of the Detroit Lions was a coordinator. That still doesn't make him qualified. Listen, after his first press conference, I'd been like, oh, we made a mistake. We made a huge mistake. Nick Sirianni, Philly, after his first press conference, I've been like, hey, listen, him? That's who we hired? That's who y'all told me to pay? Oh, nah. Fire him and then fire yourself after that. I could go on and on and on. I could bring you names of people who got jobs that shouldn't have had jobs if this is the criteria of how you get an NFL coordinator job. My point in bringing that up is it's amazing how those things are held. And again, I'm not talking about race. I'm talking about the person now, about a guy like David Culley, who literally has been in the NFL for decades, not 5 years, not 10 years, but over 30 years. And people with the stroke of a pen will write off his entire accomplishment and his entire career as not good enough. And that's unfortunate. David Culley, more than anybody, has done it the right way. He's waited his turn. He hadn't made a bunch of noise. I'm sure he got interviewed before part of the Rooney Rule. I mean, I'm just going to say this, and you ain't got to like it. There ain't a whole lot of black candidates for them to even interview from. They can't interview the janitor because he's black. They can't interview the head person of security because he's black. They have to interview a football-minded or football a coach or assistant or somebody like that. So how many interviews did David Culley have as part of the Rooney Rule? How many times did we hear David Culley say, oh, man, it's a sham. I didn't, it wasn't worth my time. None. He waited his turn. He didn't make a bunch of waves. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying he didn't do it. And because he's an upbeat, positive, what do you want him to say? Do you want him to come out and say, hey, listen, man, we don't have a chance. Like we stink and I stink and we're just playing not to get blown out like we did against Buffalo. We're not trying to win. We stink. We're horrible. Is that what you want him to say? No. So when he comes out and he says something positive like, hey, listen, Davis Mills did some good things. When they lose by 30, Davis Mills did some good things. We saw some bright spots out there. Folks are like, oh, God, this guy's just a rah-rah guy. He's not. He's doing his job. He's doing what the head coach is supposed to do. Whether we agree with it or not, whether we like the way it went or not, his job is to make his guys believe that they can win and prepare them to do that, even when they lose badly. What's he supposed to do? Wrap up the tent and okay, well, guys, we got blown out so bad. I'm done. I'll see y'all next year. You know, he's not Nick Saban in Miami. Nick Saban left the keys on the desk, walked off. Where's Nick? I don't know. His keys are on the desk. Now, he's since bounced back and had a much better career, but he did. You know, Bill Belichick left the keys on the desk in New York and took the New England job. Bill Belichick got run out of town in Cleveland. Things worked out for him pretty good. Why are we writing off David Culley because of what? He was never qualified? Says who? You got too many examples in your face of people who are truly not qualified, but some kind of way, you know, the article was on the right path. Culley is more of a fall guy than he is not qualified. The Texans were a mess before Culley came in. Heck, the Astros were a mess before Dusty Baker took over. You know, now we're understanding that the Rockets were a mess before Steven Silas got there. You know, I give a lot of credit to Mike D'Antoni and Daryl Morey, man. They made that heck house look like it was a fine running machine, and behind the scenes, it was a hot tail mess. So I'm sorry, there are three guys that I'm not going to ever let anybody on this show say that they weren't qualified and then start reading off things that you don't think makes them qualified. And that's Steven Silas. That's Dusty Baker. I'm sorry, that's David Culley. Coach David Culley. Is he the guy that I wanted them to get? No, I wanted them to get Eric Bieniemy. I would have been mad if they got Marvin Lewis or can't think of the coach from used to be with the Colts and Detroit that they ran off with a winning season. I would have loved for them to get either one of those three, but they got David Culley. And you know what? He really is the right guy for this situation because he doesn't get too high. He doesn't get too low. He doesn't allow anything to knock him off his mark. They lose. They get in the film room. They break it down. They try to help their young team figure it out. Hey, come back and try it again. So I'm sorry, Mr. Writer of this article. I don't agree. I don't agree. Right? Now, look, okay, if this is what you're going to say, now do Joe Judge. What has he done up there in New York, New Jersey with the Giants? Good God. If Arizona had treated Cliff Kingsbury like they did the coach that Cliff Kingsbury took the job of, he'd be in college somewhere. He'd probably have the USC job by now. I just wish everybody would be patient with all coaches like they are with some. Let me take this break. Be right back. 281-453-1000. Throwback Thursday on the lunch break.
You don't sit behind a desk every day to earn a living. You're out and about making it happen. And sometimes you get a little bit behind on your paperwork, like bookkeeping and paying your taxes. It's easy to get behind on paying your taxes. It happens to the best of us. And you know what happens next. The big bad IRS comes knocking on your door. And when that happens, you need to call the good old boys at the Tax Doctor. Let them do what they do best. Deal and negotiate with the IRS so you pay the lowest you can in back taxes that the law allows. We are a 100% U.S.-based company, and we've saved our clients millions over the years in back taxes. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call my friends right now at the Tax Doctor and learn more.
800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. That's 800-603-9359.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy, Jonathan McReynolds, and I'm glad that you made room for the legendary KYOK, The Lunch Break.
Thank you very much there, Jonathan McReynolds, big timer in the gospel music industry. Dropped in on the lunch break a little while back, got to MC his listening party. And now I need to go to the phone lines. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this?
Well, AJ, lunch break is Ferdinand.
Ferdinand, what it do, man? What it do?
Hey, man, I hear you, my brother. I hear you. Look, AJ, David Culley is coaching, Doc. David Culley has been coaching from day one.
Okay, well, okay, hopefully.
Certain jobs, AJ, I think African Americans shouldn't take because of this very reason. You come in these cases that I can't even say what they are right now, but you come in a case where you're in a no-win situation. The Houston Texans team had been chopped up. All the great players were shipped away. Now you put David Culley in a position where he thinks he's going to have Deshaun, which is not very much because you can have Deshaun and still don't have the rest of the pieces of the puzzle. And we've seen what's been happening in the last 3 or 4 years with Deshaun. And so he took the job thinking on at least I have a quarterback. At least I have something that I can, start with. But the thing of the matter is, David Culley prepares every game so that guy could not just totally lose confidence. He is coaching that guy up right now. Davidson Mills is not who he needs to be right now. But in several years, what Mr. Culley is doing,
right,
he's helping that young man out.
Right.
And so he's doing a phenomenal job to me, AJ, for coaching, preparing his team. And he can't play offense. AJ, he can't play defense. Those guys have to step up to the plate. And it's like when Tyrod Taylor went down, AJ, man, the defense just left with it.
Yeah, and that's why. I went out to training camp. I saw Davis Mills in training camp, and I saw then that his reaction times were slow. I saw then if he wasn't wearing the red "Don't Hit Me" jersey, he wouldn't have gotten half his throws off because the defense had gotten in there on him. But, all I did was I said, hey, I don't think this young man's ready yet. I don't think he's ready yet. I think he's caught up with the speed of the game. And then that Carolina game happened. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, he's this, he's that, blah, 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 blah. He followed the game plan, and they almost won. That next game, when they opened it up and teams prepared for him, guess what? Whole different deal. And it's been a whole different deal since. So I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm not saying he's not going to be a good NFL quarterback. I'm just saying he wasn't ready. And that's not David Culley's fault. It's not like he can automatically make him ready when he's not. I mean, if that's the case, they should have fired the head coach of the Colts back when he had Peyton Manning. And, they did shortly after that, surprisingly. But anyway, I'm just saying, man, David Culley is not the problem. And the local writers and TV people and journalists and all that, man, chill out. David Culley is far from the problem with this organization. If David Culley is the problem, then give me the article on Jack Easterby. Give me the article on Nick Caserio. Give me the article on Cal McNair, because those are parts of the problem.
You're going to always have a naysayer. I just hope that Tyrod could get back in and manage the game so that we can see the pieces of the puzzle that the Texans do have. They can still win games, but not with Davis and Mills, because why? Davis Mills, the only thing I could say to you, AJ, and to the listeners is he's not ready for the speed of the NFL. Not saying that the guy's not talented, but his speed is nowhere near what the NFL is.
Yeah.
And so I don't see for the rest of the season, if Davis and Mills stays behind quarterback, they won't win a game.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I've said this to you, Ferdinand, I'll say it to you again. I don't see them. I do see a scenario where they do not take Davis Mills out of the starting quarterback position when Tyrod Taylor comes back. And, I believe that. I believe that they want to keep Mills in there and let him learn in the fire.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Look, if you want your team to be 1-17, something wrong with you as an owner. If you're going to just allow your fans to just get totally taken the rug snatched from beneath them, man, something wrong. But like I say, be me and a ticket holder, season ticket holder, and if it end up the way it does in a negative way this year, man, I'll say no, this is not going to work.
Yeah.
You can't allow these billionaires to dictate what they want to do because they mad with a player or two on the team, AJ. And I just think that we're getting the short end of the stick with what we're seeing. And no disrespect to Davis Mills. He's a quarterback. He's made it to where he is because of, the hard work he put in. But right now, his speed is just not worth Texas needed from. But no, don't take anything away from David Culley. And I'm gone, AJ.
Yep, appreciate you,
Ferdinand.
Ferdinand.
Done a phenomenal job. And, man, we're going to keep lifting him up, AJ.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yeah, we're going to protect him.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. Talk to you soon. Right. Let me get another call in before the top of the hour. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this? Hello? Oh, I'm sorry. I got the thing down. Please forgive me. That was my fault. Say it again. Who's this?
Do you really want to say my name, AJ? I'm calling.
Wait a minute. Say that again. You kind of low. Say that again. Who is this?
I'm the winner.
Oh, Clarence done come in talking some noise. He got that $50. Clarence said, "Yeah, let me call in there and see how my people doing since I got their money."
You was having so much fun the other day and had me laughing so much. I thought you were joking with me when you sent me that text.
Yeah, no, you did, man. It was a tie between you and the last guy we just had on the phone, Ferdinand. Both of y'all had the wrong team. Both of y'all went with Buffalo, but you were closer on the final score, which is what gave you the win. And congratulations, man. That's your first win in the contest.
Yes, sir. But do you think Cully would have been able to do what that Buffalo coach did and been there the next day?
You know what? I don't. I don't. Brother,
didn't even get much bad press on that. That's ridiculous. You could go in overtime and play to win. Give yourself a chance to play to win. That was some high school stuff, I think. And he went back to.
Yeah, again, man, David Culley is not the problem with the Houston Texans. That's just the bottom line for me. Again, I'm not mad at Davis Mills. I'm not hating him. What was he going to do? No, I don't want to play. I'm not good enough. You got to get in there and you do your job. But, my expectations for this team are tempered. And, I think if the fans and the writers and the journalists and the broadcasters get to that place, we'll be a lot better off.
Well, it goes back to O'Brien. They let him, gave away everybody off of the team. So they, I think they do want to try to get that first round pick or second pick in the first round.
Yeah, and truth be told, they don't have to give this pick to anybody else. So if they want the number one overall pick in the NFL, guess what? It's between them and Detroit right now.
And just about all of the O'Brien players are they shipping them out.
Right. Yeah.
I wish my Cowboys would have got Merciless, but the Packers getting it.
Yeah, that was an interesting battle, from what I understand. There were several teams that wanted him, including Tampa Bay and some other teams. And whatever Green Bay told him, they got the deal. Hey, do me a favor, Clarence. Stay right there. I need to hit the top of the hour, and then I'll come right back to you. Okay?
All right, sir.
All right, we'll be back with the winner of this week's Lunch Break Weekly, Keeping Up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge, right after this.
The legendary 1140 AM KYOK Conroe and 92.3 FM K222CX Houston.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the host, guests, and callers, who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. We're streaming live, kyokradio.org, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Appreciate y'all tuning in wherever you might be listening. All right, let me go back to the phone line. We got Clarence standing by. Clarence is this week's winner of the Lunch Break Weekly, Keeping Up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge. He won $50 courtesy of the Hartwell Clinic. If you need good counseling, you need people who are compassionate and patient, you want to call the Hartwell Clinic. They are right there for you. 713-280-7979. 713-280-7979. Tell them you heard it on the lunch break. Mr. Clarence, what you going to do with your winnings, man? What you going to do with your winnings?
You didn't see that text message, huh? It went to the card that my wife keeps.
Oh, okay, that's gone. That's gone. That right there is gone. Don't say no more, Mr. Clarence. Don't say no more.
Just like you was talking about, everybody got a different relationship. So,
Yep.
Yeah, and so if she keeps my cards and keep me from spinning, I'm happy.
I know that's right. How long have y'all been married, Mr. Clarence?
33 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about. Congratulations, and I mean that sincerely.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I want to be like you when I grow up. When I grow up, I want to be just like you.
Yeah, well, when I moved out here, I wanted to be like the Joneses, and since I done got out here and built this retirement house, it's like everybody in the neighborhood trying to be like me.
Mr. Clarence, where are you from originally?
Oh, man, Louisiana.
What part of Louisiana? What you know about Louisiana, Chef?
Yeah, you ever heard of New Iberia?
I sure have.
Yes, sir.
I know some. Look, I got some real good friends in New Iberia. Pelson Polk is a good friend of mine from New Iberia. I know some other folk. Now I'm drawing blanks on names, but how long you been here?
Oh, you probably still in school. 77.
Oh yeah, you've been here for a minute. This is your second home. This don't replace home. This is your second home.
Yes, sir. My cousin, his grandson, he plays for LSU. He just went down. They call him Boutte, but we say Booty.
Yeah.
Where we from in Louisiana.
Yep.
He went down with a leg injury and stuff. That show broke a lot of folks off.
Oh man, I hate that. Well, they got a big win though. They got a big win.
Yep.
Put Florida on the hot seat. So, Mr. Clarence, you got a lot of good history. We appreciate you tuning in, listening to the lunch break, and congratulations on your big win this past week. You think you're gonna make it 2 weeks in a row?
Well, I was, you made me have to step up my game. So I go to the NFL chairman and I look at those injury reports. When you said that I was going to take Denver, but when you said the gentleman said that Cleveland got Landry back, I always loved the Case Keenum. So I'm flipping my thing before I send it in to you. I got to see about some more injury stuff, and then the way Denver played against the Raiders, I couldn't believe it. That was and then without Bridgewater, what else can you say?
Right.
I'm not a lock on lock.
Yeah, and I don't think they're a lock on lock either. He would be in there now. Mr. Clarence, thanks for sharing some of your secrets. I think some people are gonna start stepping up because you have definitely been on a roll lately. But again, have a great.
Don't look at the injury report. Tell them that don't believe me when I say that. And also, sir, if I could say one more thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Letitia don't hate. You don't hate when I call and make requests and tell her how good she making my heart. Getting my heart right for the whole day. Tell her don't hate.
I will tell your homegirl exactly what you said. She's a Louisiana girl too.
Yeah, I appreciate it when you stood up for a newbie. I wish I'd have made that first week though with you. I'd have been in the running. Made that first week.
You will, but you still you making a steady climb, Mr. Clarence. So you stay right where you are.
Once I get that next with one or no, I'm working on it, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mr. Clarence, you have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you again soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Again, Mr. Clarence is the winner of this past week's Lunch Break Weekly, Keeping Up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge. If you want to get in for your chance to win, all you got to do is send me your picks from tonight's game all the way through Monday night's game. All right? You got a train going out there by you, man?
I'm in the hood, man. Yeah.
That's so funny. I love it. Let me get you some stuff, man. Hold on.
I ain't bougie. I live by the track. So
I ain't mad at you. Yeah. You know what? Whenever we would go into a town where we supposedly had family, you know what my grandmother told me to do? Go across the track, knock on the first house, and they gonna know where your people are. If they not your people, they gonna know where your people are.
Yeah.
And I've done it many times, and it always has worked.
Like I live where my auntie used to call it The greater fifth.
You over there, boy. I tell you what, you better come on with it. Hold on, let me do you right, man. Let me do. The brother like no other. With dimples, he ain't got on no Kango, but he lives over in the greater. What is it called? What part of the fifth?
The greater fifth.
The greater fifth. You know where it is. It is Mr. Houston Roundball Review, Kris Gardner. Glad to have you back, brother. Glad to have you.
Glad to be here, man.
All right, I got questions. Look, these ain't from nobody else but me.
All right.
All right, so I'm gonna make it a question/statement. I didn't know the Knicks won the NBA championship last night.
According to who?
The Knicks fans.
Well, consider the source.
They are so I listened to this show coming in, Bart Scott and somebody Hahn. They call it Bart and Hahn. And
probably Alan Hahn. Yeah, Alan Hahn probably
is a huge New York Knicks fan.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about, that somebody called in and said, well, this ain't your daddy's Knicks. He said, well, my daddy's Knicks won 2 NBA championships. So yeah. He's like, probably not my Knicks, but I want them to be my daddy's Knicks. Bro, they are hyped about the New York Knicks, and they 1-0. Like, the Knicks won the championship last night. How they do that, man?
Well, yeah, that's what Knicks fans do. Good for them. I guess they had the TVs off when the Bucks won the night before with missing like 3 or 4 key players, but I digress.
So they went on to say Milwaukee #1, Brooklyn #2, and guess who they put at #3?
Well, I'm surprised they put the Knicks behind Brooklyn, but okay.
Bruh, I was like, I cannot wait to get to Kris Gardner from Houston Roundball Review, because I did not know they played a 1-game tournament at the beginning of the year, and the Knicks won the championship last night.
Well, it's good for the NBA that the Knicks are good again, are relevant again. So that's good.
Right.
But 1-0 doesn't impress me. So anyway.
Yeah, well, okay. I got to tell you, we do this a lot on my show. If I got to do my power rankings in the East, and the East is where the power is, by the way. They are not, anybody's pushover conference anymore. I got I got Milwaukee #1. I got Brooklyn #2, and I know they haven't worked out their issues yet. I got Philly #3. #4, I'm probably sliding in Miami. And then it gets real iffy right there because folks forgot Atlanta made a run. Right. New York made their run. And, oh, yeah, by the way, Chicago is pretty good right now, too. And Charlotte was a playoff team last year. So there's a lot happening after that #4 on down between 4 and 8. I'm not talking about playing stuff. I'm talking about 4 to 8.
And you didn't even name Toronto.
How about that?
Who should be good this year.
How about that?
So, yeah. And I'm not a fan and be blind like my Pistons. They're not ready yet. Yeah, their time will come, but they're not ready yet. That time is not here yet.
You had a brother on the show on Bart and Hahn. Bart Scott is apparently from Detroit. He left the Knicks game early so that he could follow and see what Detroit was doing last night. But he, like you, says he likes what he sees out of his team. And they were without, their #1 pick.
Still, Cade has not played a game yet. Didn't play in the preseason.
Yeah.
Sounds like he won't play for at least another week with that ankle that they've said for a while now is not serious, but we're going on like 6 weeks now. He hasn't competed in a game. So I'm not sure why they are being so secretive. If it's a high ankle sprain, just say so. They're not going to the championship this year. So just say what his injury is and keep it moving.
Right. Yeah. We got Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, joining us on the show as he normally is. And just talking a little NBA. I know that football folks, Keith Hennig, stop it. Keith Hennig likes to say, it's football season. I'm
not my world. Not in my world.
I will say this. After, let's see, this was Thursday. Last night was after Tuesday night, folks were all the greatest called in. He was all mad at the Lakers. I got Brooklyn fans that were, butting and all that. Dude, it's week 1 down, 81 more to go. I mean, right. I'm not ready to get all worked up. I'm not ready to get overly excited. I'm not ready to get miserable. I mean, come on, Kris, help me out.
I mean, those are football fans and some basketball fans who are diehard fans. I'm glad the NBA is here because that means college hoops is right around the corner.
Okay, now that's your baby.
So it is, but based on the numbers I get on my YouTube channel, it's Rockets all the time over there.
Yeah.
So I go where the crowd goes. But if I could wave a magic wand, and focus on what I prefer day in, day out, be college hoops. But here in H-Town, that's like a tree falling in the forest. So, so I'm just got to be real about getting where I fit in. Just be real.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, the Cougars haven't done any major winning like they did with Phi Slamma Jamma since the runs that they've had with Kelvin Sampson. But again, you don't have the star power that you had back in those days with Drexler, Elijah Wan, and others.
But AJ, nobody knew who Akeem Olajuwon was unless you were tied to the program. Akeem set out a year before playing at U of H. There were rumbles about this tall kid from Nigeria who might be something down the line. And then lo and behold, he started working out with Mo Malone at Fondy, and then he blossomed. But nobody expected him to be what he became. Clyde, Michael Young, local products.
Yeah. Winslow.
Ricky Winslow, Greg Anderson, Cadillac.
Right.
Rob, not Rob Williams, Rob. I go back to those days. I'm old enough to go back to those days. I was a kid then, but I'm old enough to know that.
Yeah.
This group of U of H, they got local flavor. It's just not a lot of people know it because this is a football city.
Yeah, it is.
Tremont Mark.
Yeah.
Moan Walker, Shadow Creek, Dickinson, local. But U of H ticket plans sold out. Almost every ticket is sold out for men's basketball so far, and the season hasn't even started yet.
Yep.
So there's a hot ticket.
Yep.
University of Houston is becoming, again, in my opinion, rightfully so, a basketball school.
Yep.
But the football team is 5-1.
Yeah, you just lost me there. I'm gonna take a break on that note because I can't rock.
But I got a lot to share today, man. So give me time. So I got a lot to share.
I'll give you time, but I can't rock with that dude you was just talking about right
there. I can't either, but reality is reality. So
all right, let's take a break. Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review. He's gonna share a lot when we come back. I gotta go drink some water or something. I got a little throw up in the back of my mouth. It's the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, the all new 92.3 FM. If you want to get in, 281-453-1000. That's 281-453-1000 on the lunch break.
If you have $2,000 or more in credit card debt, then listen up. We can reduce or eliminate your interest rates. Cut your monthly payment up to 50% and stop all late fees. Our company has been helping good people just like you get out of debt for over 30 years. Don't get stressed out. If you have $2,000 or more in credit card debt and medical bills, we can show you a way to reduce all of your bills to one lower monthly payment that you can afford. So again, if you have $2,000 or more in credit card debt and medical bills you can't afford, make this free call today and learn how you can finally get out of debt. Call now for your free consultation. 800-638-7112. 800-638-7112. 800-638-7112. That's 800-638-7112. Sponsored by Credit Guard.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
What's up, everybody? This is Jonathan Nelson, and you're listening to The Lunch Break with AJ.
All right, thank you very much, there, Mr. Jonathan Nelson, here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It is our Throwback Thursday, and I know you got a lot to say. Do me a favor, don't forget to talk about who's on top of the SWAC preseason rankings, because, I got to be nice to them again. So Coach Johnny Cole, who is on my show on Mondays with HBCU Stroll, he just happens to be cool with Kevin Granger, the athletic director, and we back in good graces. So I got to be nice.
Oh well, you need to talk to Coach Cole and put in a good word with Granger for me.
I don't know
because until you do that, until that happens, I'm about to get gracious with them.
Wait,
So
who are
whatever.
you again? What's your name again?
So I can give you the order. I give the order, the SWAC prediction and stuff. But beyond that, well, see, I got you another way though. Me and Dr. Ville are in good graces, so you better be nice to me.
And brother, and you know what? I'm trying to get in better with him because he don't like me, man. Tell him I'll be all right. Tell him I'm a good
I don't think he doesn't like you. We just got to get y'all to know it, meet so y'all can get together and figure that out. But yeah.
Let's do a social distance, stare at each other from across the room kind of thing, and we'll make it work, man. Kris,
sounds good.
Man, all joking aside, what you got for us today? You sound like you got some good stuff.
I do, but let's touch on and see. I'm going to be nice, but I got to be not nice first. I did not know the SWAC was having their basketball media day. What was it? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, until late Sunday night or Monday night, whatever. I had already made plans to go to Kansas City for Big 12. So that's where I was Tuesday and Wednesday for Big 12. Apparently TSU, Coach Jones and Coach Cooper had Zoom calls. Didn't know about it. So
all right, so let me say it like this then. I'll take this hit because we cool with athletic director Kevin Granger. The rest of the media relations department over there could use some improvement.
Yes.
Like the job of the SID is to put that information out to the media so that media can either dial in on the video or come in for the interviews or stuff like that. And I'm not lying and I'm not being mean or disrespectful when I say it's not happening. And if it's going to certain media outlets and not Houston Roundball Review or not KYOK or other stations or other media outlets, then that's a problem.
Yes.
Because if it's a Zoom, you can have up to 100 plus people on that thing. Guess what? I bet you they want 100 plus people on there.
I feel safe in agreeing with you on that, brother. Yes, no doubt. But I'm going to tie all this together. So I'm going to give you the predicted order of finish on the men's side first.
Okay.
And you were right. I was wrong back a couple weeks ago. You had TSU first. I had PV first. But Johnny Jones, Texas Southern, predicted to finish first. Second, PV. Third, Jackson State. Grambling State 4. Southern 5. FAMU 6. New to the SWAC.
Yep.
But that's not where I had it picked in my own 6. Then the bottom 6, when I scared you a while ago about not the website rosters not being updated for these 6 schools.
Yeah.
Well, this is about pretty much how I predicted them to be. 7 Alcorn, 8 Alabama State, 9 Alabama A&M, 10 Bethune-Cookman, new to the SWAC,
right.
11 Pine Bluff, and then last and least, Mississippi Valley State being the foundation of the conference in last place in the 12th spot. It's rough times over in the Valley.
Yeah.
That's on the fellas side.
Yeah.
On Willie Gibson, Shaquille O'Neal, good for him. Y'all come see him play. He's not gonna play a lot. He's not great. That's what I've been told. He's not great. I'll just be nice about it. He's not great. But on the women's side, as expected, Jackson State, clear number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2, Alabama State. 3, Southern. 4, Alabama A&M. 5, Grambling. 6, Texas Southern.
That's about right.
7, Alcorn State. 8, Bethune-Cookman. 9, Pine Bluff. 10, Prairie View A&M. 11, FAMU. And again on the women's side, in last place, 12th and least, Mississippi Valley State. Tough times over in the Valley for men's and women's basketball.
Yeah. They got their first win in football this year in a long, long time. So,
but part of that is because of the lack of funding for athletics.
Yeah.
The school is hurting financially, so athletics is hurting as well. So if people don't invest in athletics at Valley, then Valley will continue to struggle.
Right. Unfortunately.
But we touched on, you talked about it, the lack of notifications from the SWAC to media who wants to cover the SWAC. I was at Big 12, Kansas City, Missouri. Brother, when I tell you, it's for everybody. And I'm going to talk it like We talking. I was the only pepper in the salt, among the salt. The only pepper. Okay? And I sat in the middle. So I made it plain as it was clear. Look to my left. Look to my right. There was one young lady, but I think she is at a school paper. She's a sister. She was a photographer.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's it. Wednesday, I was approached by a gentleman with a Kansas City radio affiliate who asked to speak to me off the record. And he said that he wanted to talk to me officially on the record, but after everything was done. And he mentioned to me a few years ago that the Big 12, Commissioner Bowlesby, Bob Bowlesby, had a goal, plan, dream, vision to get more media that looked like us, people of color,
right,
to cover the Big 12. That was about 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Gentleman I talked to yesterday, he said, well, I see you here. I noticed you here. Doesn't look like that's changed in 4 years. So we exchanged contact information. He's going to interview me. He works with William C. Roden, Hall of Famer, journalist with The Undefeated. And he wants to talk to me about what can be done or the reality of the situation of being the only African-American journalist at the Big 12 Media Day. What reasons for it, causes, how can it be fixed, etc. So I just want to let the family know that hopefully that interview will take place. And if it does, I'll be sure to share it. Y'all can check it out. But it brings up a few points, my man. It's an issue for the Big 12, one. It's an issue also for the schools who issue credentials in the Big 12, who they choose to give credentials to. Because if you just give them to certain folks and excluding others, that's a problem.
Right. Right.
And it's also an issue for the papers in the cities of those Big 12 programs and the lack of diversity in their sports departments. So it has a lot of levels to it. But here on the lunch break, I want to toss this out there as well for conversation to the parents of these student assets who are looking at attending these schools and institutions. Think about this on your recruiting visits. Ask them, how many people who look like me do y'all have covering your sports? Listen to their answer, because if they can't give you a good answer of how many people that look like you cover their sports, then maybe you shouldn't consider going to that school, because they only think high enough of you to give you a scholarship for your services on the field of battle, but they don't want to give a credential to the media outlets that look like you to cover you and write stories about you. Think about that.
Yeah. I tried to do a search of how many black head coaches there are in the Big 12 basketball right now. And guess what the search came up with?
You got Mike Boynton in Oklahoma State.
Yeah. What's interesting is the search went immediately to Pac-12. It didn't even register for the Big 12. Think about that. You Google how many black head coaches in the Big 12 conference for basketball.
Right.
And it doesn't even register. And you
Which
got
gets
one.
Right. That's why I say I'm serious about this. It's time. It's well past time for parents and the kids. Y'all need to think about this. Think about who's going to be covering you. Think about who's going to be telling your stories for the 1, 2, 3, 4 years that you're going to be competing at these institutions. Because if they only think about you on one part of your life, on the athletic part, but not the other parts of your life, then why are you going there?
Yeah, what's interesting is the Undefeated, and this is a young lady for the Undefeated. She has, and this is old because some of the people that she has on the list are not there anymore. The black head coaches in FBS football, of course, James Franklin Shaw, Charlie Strong, Willie Taggart. He's not still at Oregon. I'm sorry, this is old.
That's real old. Willie Taggart said FAU.
Yeah. Yeah, Mason is going. Yeah, this is and again, that's the sad thing is there's not even a place that you can just go and get that kind of information because it's not readily available.
And one of the ironies is in the American Athletic Conference right now, Penny Hardaway, Johnny Dawkins,
right,
Aaron McKee at Temple. People think Kelvin Sampson's African American, but he's Native American.
Right.
But he's person of color.
Right.
Frank Haith at Tulsa. Plenty. Half the conference is people of color.
Right. Yeah, I go back to something that the commissioner of the Big 12 said, and again, it's been about 4 years that he is the commissioner of a conference at the time that not a single one of the athletic directors had hired a black football coach. And if he had a plan that's dated 4 years, what's the plan and when does it get implemented? Like, when do you actually make this a priority?
And apparently it's not yet a priority because if it's been 4 years since they discussed or thought about having more people of color, African Americans, cover the programs and, in media, and it hasn't changed, whereas I'm the one that was at the men's and women's basketball media days these past 2 days, then something still needs to be changed, be worked on. And if this is, I'm not going to get too deep into it, but if this is part of my calling to work toward change, make a change, then bring it on.
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
Yeah, and again, we got Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, joining us here on the show. I know I got a lot of folks who are like, oh God, you guys make everything about race. Listen, this station is one of the longest running black-owned, black-operated stations in the nation, let alone the city of Houston, one of the larger markets in the city. I'm going to do what our listening base doesn't get done on ESPN, doesn't get done on CBS Sports, doesn't get done on Fox, doesn't get done anywhere else. We're going to talk about this. And, I know folks get mad when, God, who is this guy to say, if you don't like it, change the channel, man. I promise you we're going to be all right. We got to talk about this because to me, it's a parallel to the shift that you've seen lately over the last 4 years in the entire country, not just in sports, because I've always said sports is a microcosm of our society as a whole.
Agreed.
And there is less sensitivity to black initiatives and hirings and things like that. As a matter of fact, there's a different shift. Like, I shouldn't feel bad because I don't want to hire you. I shouldn't have to hire you because you're black, number one. But number two, I shouldn't feel bad about hiring who I want to hire. I read an article earlier today that called David Culley a patsy and that he was in no way qualified to be an NFL head coach. Dude's been in the league for over, close to 40 plus years.
Right.
And you got guys like Cliff Kingsbury who had no NFL qualifications. You had guys like Joe Judge. You have others who are in the league that, bruh, if you didn't know somebody, you wouldn't have the job that you have. Why are we pointing out what David Culley had and didn't have and others? Eric Bieniemy, they keep making excuses why he is not a valid NFL head coach. Byron Leftwich is now, being mentioned, but everybody's running for Kellen Moore and everybody's running for Josh McNown, who's never coached anything. So, I say all that to say that shift in our society away from, any sensitivity to changing the way that people of color are being hired, interviewed, chances given, what have you. I'm staying away from words like affirmative action. I'm staying away from, words like that because folks have turned those things into dirty words. And the Rooney Rule is a dirty word, dirty phrase now. So, let me hush and you tell me what you think.
To those folks who, while you bring it up, blah, 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 think about this. How many Caucasians cover HBCU sports? Do you see some. Exactly. You see more of them than you do us covering. That's one of my points.
Right. You're right. Like if I'm white and I apply for credentials to cover the Labor Day Classic, or I cover the Celebration Bowl or the Bayou Classic, I'm more than likely going to get those credentials. But let me be who I am and try to get credentials to cover. I'm not even going to go to the bigger bowls. Let me try to cover OU and Oklahoma State, or OU and Iowa State. More often than not, I'm going to get denied those credentials.
Yes. And it's the perception of your audience.
Right.
Your audience,
right.
But you want our players. You don't want the media for the audience of those players. Some of the audience of those players seen those kids since junior high.
Yeah.
Even younger, pee-wee football. But you don't want that audience for media to cover those kids, even though they've seen them since they were 6, 7, 8 years old.
Well,
and it's not.
Kris, I don't mean to cut you off. What's interesting is, as you were saying that, it takes me back to that audio that we were made privy to about Donald Sterling. He told the young lady, "Don't be bringing your black friends to my games.
Yeah.
Don't be bringing your black friends to my state. You got a team full of brothers. You got an organization that actually had brothers and sisters in it. But your issue is that your mistress is bringing her black friends to your game. Like, you don't want black people with green money at your games." And the reality is, there are some people who think like that, who feel like that. And I'm not saying that they're running media relations departments. I'm not saying that they're SIDs. I'm saying there are still people with influence and power that still feel that way, and they feel emboldened to feel that way given the atmosphere in the country right now.
And I'll just say this. Roundball Review is going on 29 years next year. When I started, people I learned from, people who mentored me, William Stickney, The Chronicle, Mike Terry of the LA Times, of course, Ralph Cooper.
Yeah.
As the years have passed, and I'm now trying to mentor people like Andy Yanez, Jayla Mason, Tamer Knight, I don't see as many people look like us now compared to when I first started. When I first started going to Final Fours, women's Final Fours, if it wasn't H-Town media, people of color, because Mike Terry retired, Stick retired, there was a lengthy gap of African-American media at those Final Fours. Just in the last maybe 5, 10 years, that's starting to change and get better. So this has been going on for a while. It was better years ago. For a while, it got worse, and it's slowly beginning to get better. But there are big-time programs here in this state who don't credential black outlets. And I make a point, and one of my sisters, Cheryl Coward, on the West Coast, hoopfeed.com, huge women's basketball coverage. She and I make a point to let folks know how we look. My pictures on my Twitter, ain't no question. I didn't know you were black. I don't know why you didn't. It's right there, plain as day. I'm proud of who I am.
Yeah.
So you can't plead ignorance. Oh, I thought, yeah, you thought wrong.
Yeah.
Get my credential.
Yeah. Again, Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, 29 years. Good Lord, bro. I love it. Proud of you, man. Proud of you.
Appreciate it.
Again, I know it wasn't easy. And for those who, again, don't like this kind of frank talk, it's reality, and it's a conversation that will be had, and it will definitely happen right here. Just kind of keeping it sports related, not necessarily just one segment of sports or the other. I have no shame in saying, when the Bill O'Brien administration took over with the Houston Texans, we went from having credentials since 2005 to not having credentials at all. Interestingly enough, as soon as he was gone, I got to give credit to to Omar.
Yes.
I got to give credit to Omar. All of a sudden now we got credentials and had no issues getting them. None whatsoever. In fact, when I had an issue, I called Omar, sent him an email. Let me fix that for you. Okay, go in and apply again. And bang, done, we're in. hey, listen, man, it doesn't have to be that hard. All of a
Agreed.
sudden, the place that had no room, we have too many, we're trying to social distance. We have too, we're in there now. And guess what? There's room for everybody.
And let me salute Omar on my end with A.D. Moore, Dolphus Moore, who was credentialed to cover the Texans under the Houston Round Ball Review umbrella.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me say that one more time. The Houston Round Ball Review is now credentialed in the NBA and the NFL.
Yeah.
Okay, I've been doing this 29 years. And the NCAA. So I talk about this because it's important to me, because I don't want Tamer Knight, Jalen Mason, Andy Yanez to have to continue dealing with this stuff.
Yeah.
When they get to be my age.
Yeah.
I'm almost 50 in March, next March. I don't want to keep dealing with this stuff. I don't want them to have to deal with this stuff. So if I got to take the hits,
yeah,
fine, bring it on. I'll take the hits so others after me don't have to deal with it.
Yeah. It's funny you say that, because I've been telling my kids and my grandkids, I literally apologized to my oldest son. I said, man, I thought that this battle would have been won by now. And I apologize for not fighting it as hard as I should have. My dad passed on that torch, and I let it get dim. I didn't let it go out, but I let it get dim. I don't want them to have to fight the same fight that our grandparents fought and great grandparents fought. I don't want that, and they shouldn't have to do that. And like I said, there appears to be a shift to try and go hard the other way. All I'll tell you is, man, listen, this thing ain't gonna go down easily. We're gonna speak up about it. We're gonna speak out about it, and you're either gonna have to explain yourself, or guess what? This coverage can go in other places. Folks don't realize there was a time when UMass was one of the baddest teams in the country. There was a time when Temple was one of the baddest teams in the country. There was a time when other programs were the baddest teams in the country on multiple sports level. Guess what? They're not anymore. And ain't nobody begging to cover them anymore. So just be careful. Just because you're on top today don't mean that you're going to be on top always. Oh, yeah, by the way, you got a chance to get some good coverage in multiple markets when you reach out to and accept, Black-owned, Black-operated stations, Black-owned, Black-operated media outlets.
And I'm going to put a bow on it. Rice Athletics had a press conference this almost high noon, 11:45, announcing today that they were joining the American Athletic Conference. So as president, David Lebron, AD, 3 other coaches, part of the media call, the Zoom call. As far as I know, it was Joseph Duarte from the Chronicle and me as people of color. But specifically African-American, it was me. Okay? I'm not the only person of color, African-American, who covers sports here in town. Okay? I know that. Yeah. You're proof of that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
On the pro level, it seems that the Rockets don't have an issue, and now the Texans and Omar don't have an issue giving out credentials to people of color, but U of H does. U of H, let me be clear. That's my alma mater. I got no problem calling them out my alma mater. You're wrong, I'm going to say so.
Yeah.
You're right, I'm going to give you credit for it.
Yeah.
But if you seem to have, why do the pro teams have no problem giving out credentials to Black-owned media, but colleges here in town seem to have issues with it?
Yeah.
It's not just U of H, it's other schools in this state.
Oh, that's true.
Do that same thing. So
let me tell you, there are some that don't even respond back to media requests, like whatsoever. Like, don't even take the time to respond back. And I know they got a department full of interns and grad assistants and all the above. So let me shift for a second. I posted an article last night over in Twitter. Now, before I get to that, Ralph Cooper, how would you describe Ralph Cooper, sports-wise related?
The man's a walking encyclopedia, but he can be abrasive.
For how long?
How long have I known Ralph?
Been around in sports roughly for.
Oh my gosh, 50 years?
At least.
Yeah.
So, people like to look at, oh, well, you don't have much of a following. Ralph's got 249 followers on Twitter, and he's unverified. Ralph is the godfather of sports. Definitely in the state of Texas, definitely in the city of Houston, but is one of the most seasoned, knowledgeable, been in the company of the greatest of the greats of all time.
Literally, as in Muhammad Ali.
Literally, Muhammad Ali made sure he was part of his press corps. And there'll be people that won't credential Ralph because they'll look at a Twitter account and say, oh, 249 followers, non-verified. They won't even waste the time of getting one of the best in the business because of a check mark and some likes.
Yep. That's reality. I'm not verified on Twitter.
I won't even try to.
You know, I tried once and that was enough for me.
Yeah, if Jim Marshall, Hall of Famer, Minnesota Supreme Court, Jim Marshall, can try to get verified and get denied, I won't even try.
Yeah.
I won't even try. Look, let me save room for somebody who really deserves it. I won't even try.
Yeah, because I go back once again. I am credentialed by the NFL, NBA, and the NCAA. So I don't have Twitter, whatever. And I replied to that response, sorry, we're not going to verify. Okay, but by the way, this is who has given me credentials, and left it alone and kept it moving. But I say all that to say to my HBCUs.
That's where I was going.
Please, I want to. AJ wants to. There are other colleagues in town want to cover you and give you coverage recognition. Send us the information. Keep us informed. Keep us involved in what's going on with your schools and your programs. Help us to interview your coaches and tell their stories. Because if y'all, we can get credentials, we get turned down by other people.
Yeah.
Y'all give us credentials, but don't give us information.
Yeah.
So what's the point?
Well, there's a place I'm going to go run down to a game because this young man, Kendrick Marshall, wrote about what may be the best college basketball court in America, and it's at an HBCU, and that HBCU is in the state of Texas. Talking about the new basketball court unveiled at Paul Quinn College, and it features it's one that features an important history lesson. Unveiled Tuesday, the court inside the school's health and wellness center features Paul Quinn's connection to the city with an eye-popping black, silver, and purple color scheme that features the Dallas skyline from pre-integration 1920s.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wow.
Because with technology today, we can tell these stories.
Yeah.
And I would suggest to the schools that don't give us credentials, that doesn't mean that we're still not going to tell your stories.
Yep.
We still have outlets to tell the stories, streaming platforms.
Yep.
So the only thing that y'all can do for us is give us access to coaches, because some of us have been around long enough to already have those contacts with coaches.
Right.
So if we get the interview without you with a coach, what you going to say then?
Yeah.
What can you say?
Yeah, true that. Kris, we got to take a quick break, man. Very good discussion. In fact, Natasha Marie says, great afternoon, y'all. The lunch break keeps it 100, 100, 100. We'll be right back with more right after this on the lunch break.
You don't sit behind a desk every day to earn a living. You're out and about making it happen. And sometimes you get a little bit behind on your paperwork, like bookkeeping and paying your taxes. It's easy to get behind on paying your taxes. It happens to the best of us. And you know what happens next. The big, bad IRS comes knocking on your door. And when that happens, you need to call the good old boys at the Tax Doctor. Let them do what they do best. Deal and negotiate with the IRS so you pay the lowest you can in back taxes that the law allows. We are a 100% U.S.-based company, and we've saved our clients millions over the years in back taxes. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call my friends right now at the Tax Doctor and learn more.
800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. That's 800-603-9359.
Hello, this is Claude Cummings Jr., Vice President of CWA District 6, reminding you to please vote in the HISD, Sci-Fair, and Aldine Independent School District School Board elections. These elections are so important to our children and our communities.
Yes, Claude, that's correct. My name is Candace Houston. I'm the proud president of Aldine American Federation of Teachers. We have endorsed Zahir Malik, position 4, Nico Matthews, position 3, and Steve Mead, position 5.
Early voting starts Monday, October 18th through October 29th. Election day is Tuesday, November 2nd.
Remember that every vote counts and every vote matters. Please go vote.
Paid for by Houstonians for Working Families.
You're listening to
1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legendary KYOK.
This is Lakeisha, and you're listening to The Lunch Break on KYOK.
All right, thank you, Lakeisha, on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK. While we're at it, man, let me give a bunch of big shout-outs real quick. CJ from Alcorn, Camilio from Grambling, of course, a number of friends and family members, none fewer than Keisha Kelly from Southern. Got to give some love to all the folks up there. TK up at Prairie View. There are a lot of great people doing great things at HBCUs, and don't think we're coming for you or your school. Unfortunately, like anything else, you have organizations, you have departments, and let me just make it plain, you have people that don't quite represent to the best of your school's ability, what your school does on levels like sports. And it's not like we're crying and we feel like we are owed something, what have you. But, there are things in the media that should happen and shouldn't be a hard thing to do. I sent a letter over to the good folks over at Prairie View to give me a checklist. What do I need to do so that we don't go another season without media credentials for all of your sports? Give me this, give me that, give me that. Don't respond. Don't just decide to say no. But give me a checklist. If you can do these 3 or 4 things, then we feel comfortable credentialing you. We want to work with them as much as, we want to do what we have to do to work with them as much as we want to work with them. So, Kris, anything you want to add to that?
Yes. And let me say this. I was contacted, I won't say who, but I was contacted and asked a few weeks ago if I'd be interested in doing some work at PV to help them out when they were shorthanded. Rockets had just started, so I couldn't do it, but I recommended someone for it.
Did they take it?
Nope. The person was willing to do it.
Okay.
PV never got back to that person to do it.
Okay.
So, I'm connected to a lot of these programs, and some of y'all don't even realize. For a long time, I want to see everybody eat.
Right.
I want to see everybody do well.
Likewise.
But if I am asked to help out, if I can, I'm going to help out, or I recommend someone who I think can do the job. But then you turn around and then don't respond to that person, communicate with that person, then why should I continue spending my time on you?
Yeah. I'm real big on referrals. And listen, if I give you a referral and you don't follow up with them, next time you ask me for a referral, you probably won't get it.
Exactly.
You probably won't get it.
So, I'm just, and my shirt that I'm wearing says spread love. Okay? It's part of Galen Robinson, U of H alum, graduate, H-Town proud.
Yep.
Part of his apparel line, Sustainable
Yep.
Worldwide.
Yep.
Supporting Black-owned business.
Yep.
A U of H alum, all that. I'm off. I do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm older than you. When you said spread love, I went my take 6. Spread love. Ba ba ba. But yeah, okay. But that's Galen, and again, I do love that young man, man. I'm so proud of him. And I know you are connected with him. Please spread that to him. Share that with him from me, man, because that brother he's trying to do that, spread love and make some positive impact on this world. I can respect and appreciate that.
Yes. So I put my money where my mouth is. So if I reach out to businesses, et cetera, in town and give you numbers to show what is in for you, and then that's not really what I'm looking into, or your numbers aren't big enough. Next, I'll keep it moving till I find somebody else who wants to support me and share in my vision. Because let me say it one more time, because I am blessed and proud to say this. The Houston Round Bar Review is credentialed by the NBA, the NFL, and the NCAA. Okay? Been around going on 29 years, hopefully make it 30. I'm doing something right.
Yep.
So come on, hop on the train, and let's ride this train together.
I like it, brother. I absolutely like it. All right, so our guy had a tough night. Jalen Green, 9 points. What was it? 4 for 14 shooting.
He and Kevin Porter Jr. did not shoot the ball well.
Yeah.
And I think that's the Rockets' success is going to depend on their backcourt.
Yeah.
You know, Christian Wood and Harper and Şengün up front, they can produce double-doubles, but it may not be enough to get wins.
Right.
You know, so it's a lot to put on the young backcourt's plate, but that's what the Rockets chose to do, and we'll see how it all plays out. They got a chance to go to 1-1 Friday home against OKC. Nobody outside of deep Rocket fans are going to watch that game while the Astros are playing Boston a few blocks away downtown, you know.
Yeah.
But this is where we are right now. So this is Astro Town for the time being, because the Texans just know, and the Rockets are struggling and they're rebuilding. So it's Astros or bust.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Like I said, I know there's plenty of season left. I too will be somewhere else on Friday and not at that game. But you know, I wasn't worried. I wasn't disappointed. You know, folks are like, oh man, we should have got. Dude, it's one game. It's one game. 81 more to go. So I promise you, Jalen Green knows how to put the ball in the basket. Kevin Porter Jr. has already shown y'all he's a player. You know, Kenyon Martin Jr., these guys are going to be just fine. They're going to be just fine.
Agreed. You know, and this is coming from a guy who still only had them going on 21-61. I don't expect them to win a lot of games this year.
Right.
I expect them to have fun,
right,
learn from their mistakes, take their lumps, and get better game in, game out, month to month.
Man, I feel so much better for Coach Silas because, brother, let me tell you, this time last year was drama that he didn't see coming. The piece that I see him in right now is like, bro, you deserve that. Don't let nobody knock you off your mark.
I agree. I just hope that the people in charge don't expect him to win, the team to win too many games this year. And if it doesn't happen, they want to get rid of him.
Yeah. Well, I said it earlier about another coach. We gonna protect Coach Silas. We're gonna protect him. I want to talk about this real quick, and then we got to get ready to go. Last night, the Spurs unveiled their new look, minus LaMarcus Aldridge, minus DeMar DeRozan. And oh yeah, by the way, they got a nice little win. In fact, they had 7 players in double figures, led off the bench by, and I said this, and maybe I bit off too much for him, Devin Vassell, who I said puts me in the mind of a very young Kawhi Leonard.
You said that, and I give you credit for that. I still don't see the Spurs winning a lot of games this year.
I don't either.
You know, good for them.
Yep. Yeah, he had 19 off the bench, you know, and again, DeJounte Murray, different type of point guard, tall, lanky, doesn't look like he's going fast, but always gets where he wants to go. So I think those two teams are going to be up some days, down some days, but they're building something, and I think they take their time. Dallas, on the other hand, they're on the clock. They got to make that next step. It's beyond just making the playoffs. They got to make that next step.
You say that. They may think that. I just don't believe they're ready for that.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Are they top 7, top 6?
The Mavs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, yes.
Okay. Not where I have them. I don't have them playing into the playoffs. I'll say that.
They better not. No, if they do that, then I think Jason Kidd will be in trouble after 1 year.
Yeah. All right, brother, tell us where that we can find you and follow you. Great discussion today. Thank you for bringing that today. I appreciate you.
Thank you for the time, man. You have been a lifeline to me this year, man. I said it to you before. Much love and appreciation for you for providing me this time to share my thoughts and speak with you and learn from you and listen to the family and the knowledge on the lunch break. Houston Roundball Review, been around since 1994. HoustonRoundballReview.com. Houston Roundball Review on YouTube. Houston Roundball Review on Instagram, Twitter, the HR Review. And I got the phrase from you. It's in my new logo and stuff now. Houston Roundball Review, local name, global perspective.
That's what brothers do, man. That's what brothers do. And I appreciate you. Thank you for being my brother, man. And I mean that sincerely. So I'll be looking forward to connecting with you on next week.
Oh, and real quick, I forgot. Tonight, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern, Folks Talking Sports. Will Gibson won't be able to join us because he'll be covering the Browns and Case Keenum.
Yep.
U of H is Case Keenum. So tonight it'll be me, Andy Yanez, and a newbie joining the show. Jayla Mason from the Daily Cougar will be chiming in. Hopefully Tamara Knight will be able to as well. She's got some previous commitments. She may have to miss our show, but Folks Talking Sports, 7 p.m., YouTube, Facebook. Come join the fun.
All right, brother. I'll be looking forward to it, man. Y'all have a good one. We'll talk to you soon, Chris.
Thank you, man. Take care. Love you.
All right. Love you too. Good brother, man. Good discussion today. Let me get to these birthdays before I go. I know y'all be jacking me up whenever I don't do the birthdays, so let me get to them right now. Pastor Robert Bailey Jr. turned 47 today. Tracy Thomas is 53. Winnie Kamua over in Kenya celebrating her birthday. Felicia Ferrara, my longtime friend. Tamra Williams is celebrating her birthday along with Tiffany Knowles. Dee Aldrich celebrating her birthday along with Bree W. celebrating hers. Carlton Hamilton, Brianna Pennington, Alondra Taylor, Bishop Gary Scott, Pastor Tanaya Powell, and Cynthia Mobley, all celebrating birthdays today. Let me not forget Lisa Shagwar and Julie Wagner from my hometown, all celebrating birthdays. Usher, give it to them before we go, man.
Oh, go shawty, it's your birthday. Ooh, it's your birthday. Go shawty, it's your birthday. Today's your day.
Happy birthday to everybody celebrating birthdays. Happy birthday to everybody on the celebrity list. Couldn't get to that, but I got to get ready to go. I want to thank Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review. You know, again, that is frank talk. That is real talk. That's somebody that's on the front lines, not talking about what they heard. They're talking about what they know and what they see for themselves. And again, that's what we are the voice of right here on the legendary KYOK and on the lunch break. Not talking about anybody, not making somebody feel bad about, what they're doing or what they're not doing, which is beyond me. Cancel culture is a word or phrase that's been made up. Accountability is a word that's necessary. And there are some things that people need to be held accountable for, whether it makes them feel bad or not. If you feel bad about, the fact that people like me are fighting for civil rights and things like that, imagine being the one doing the fighting this late in life in 2021. All right, y'all. Let me get Sybil Wilkes on. We'll be talk to y'all tomorrow for Freestyle Friday.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Tuesday, President Joe Biden signed an executive order setting up 2 commissions within the Department of Education to improve education for Black students. One commission will be assigned to raise awareness around challenges for Black students and increase Black children's access to high-quality early childhood programs, among other projects. The second panel will make recommendations to the president about educational equity and economic opportunity for the Black community. Meanwhile, the White House unveiled its plans to roll out COVID-19 vaccines for younger children pending FDA authorization. The Biden administration has secured enough vaccine supply to vaccinate the 28 million children ages 5 to 11 who would become eligible for vaccination. The administration also plans to help make vaccination available at school and other community-based sites with help from federal emergency.
The legendary 1140 AM KYOK Conroe and 92.3 FM K222CX Houston.
All right, y'all. As always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I truly do love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. We'll talk to you tomorrow.